Hello, my name is Robert Borelli, but that wasn't always my name. But that's another story for another time. I was born and raised in East New York, Brooklyn. It was a pretty tough neighborhood, so I learned how to be tough in order to survive the neighborhood. Some of the guys in the neighborhood acknowledged me, and they took a liking to me, and they would let me hang out with them in their social clubs, and I would run errands for them. At the age of 17 years old, I started hanging out in Queens, and I met Anthony Ruggiano, who happened to be the son of Fat Andy. So I was impressed with that fact. Anthony would take me every now and then, and we'd go to his father's place. On a Friday night, his father would have this big spread where a lot of people would show up. Probably about 15 or 20 people would be there, and we'd have a meal together. But I was very impressed with, first of all, these guys were the high roller type guys, and I was impressed with the fact that they were giving Andy so much attention and so much respect. But what impressed me the most was the fact that here I am, a 17-year-old kid, sitting down breaking bread with these up-and-coming stars in the Gambino crime family and getting recognized by them. So Anthony and us, we started our own little crew, and we would go hang out in bars, and we party a little bit. But a lot of times there was fights because we were building a reputation for ourselves, and a couple of times those fights got really serious. So whenever we got into deep trouble, we would run to his dad, and his dad would take control of the situation, and then he would send us, or he would just either send us either to Jersey or Florida, upstate New York, to try to get out of the neighborhood until he could clear the air, so to speak, and settle things for us, and then send us back home. But I was impressed the fact that no matter which state we were going to, what area we were going to, that the people were there waiting for us to take care of us, to hide us out, just for the fact that Fat Andy was the one that sent us there. So I was very impressed with that his reputation preceded the neighborhood itself and reached into other states. I started trying to get a little reputation for myself, so I started seeing that I was emulating what Fat Andy had going for him, and I wanted that for myself. So I started hanging out on a bar and building a reputation for myself, and I did a pretty good job of that then. In 1982, I had to do time in Danbury, Connecticut. I had to surrender myself there, and I did about 2 years there. And when I came out, I'm hearing about this guy, Johnny A-Light, in the neighborhood. And that's the neighborhood that once knew Robert Engel, and now all of a sudden it's Johnny A-Light. So I kind of was inquisitive about who this Johnny A-Light was, and I heard some good stories about him. A big money earner, he was around the Gottis, really tough guy, built a big reputation for himself. So I wanted to find out what it is he did. I found out he was a big drug dealer, so I started getting involved with the drug dealing myself. I started dealing drugs, and before you know it, I'm partying with the drugs. The drugs is partying with me, so to speak. I'm losing control of things. Crack cocaine came into the neighborhood, and I found myself strung out on crack cocaine. And I'm looking back, and I see that the streets that I once strutted as the up-and-coming star in the Gambino crime family were the same streets that now I'm hugging, just trying to get a hit of crack cocaine. In 1997, I get arrested. I'm in Rikers Island. I had to do a couple of years in prison there, and I relocated to San Antonio, Texas. In San Antonio, Texas, for 17 years, I worked as a valet, doing valet parking. And through the course of those 17 years, I put myself through Bible college for 3 years of Bible college. I got an associate's degree in biblical studies. I was honored and privileged to get to co-author a book called The Witness. It's on Amazon.com if anybody's interested. But what I like to do more than anything was open up doors. We got to open up doors for me to speak life into people and be an encouragement to people, especially young kids who might be making some bad decisions the way I made some bad decisions in my life. But I want them to see the consequences of the bad decisions I had, and hopefully they can learn from my bad experiences that they wouldn't have to follow those paths. They could get to where I am without going through what I went through. So I want to say this here, man. I truly believe there's never too late for a new beginning, no matter where you are in life. God has a plan and a purpose for you, and I love to speak into churches, wherever God opens up a door for me to speak, to be an encouragement, to try to get people to follow the plan and purpose that God has for their life. So I want to say thank you very much for this time and opportunity that you've given us, and may you be blessed. Have a great day. Thank you.